Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy Derek here, Jay's Music, here to talk about my specific Squier. It's not one. I got the light a little too close there, but my specific Squier vintage modified Cabronita Telecaster. Now, I had to clarify this is my specific one because this has been modified slightly. I know. Don't throw tomatoes at me. People hate it when you review modified guitars. This one was a little bit of a necessity, and I'll clarify all of that here in a second. But this is a great guitar, and hopefully this will give some of you an idea of what you can expect if you go to pick these things up. Because I only think they made these for a couple of years. And I remember when they first came out, and I was really captivated specifically by this model, because I know the Mexican Fenders had them as well, but I don't think they had the Telecaster bridge pickup version. I think it was just the two Fideli'Trons. Another fun fact is I believe that this Fideli'Tron is the same one they used in the Made in Mexico series. So that's pretty cool. But I've always liked this with the Bigsby. I always thought I wanted a Bigsby until I changed strings on the Bigsby, and I was like, this crap is for the birds. It's not too bad. You just got to get used to it. But I always wanted one of these, and I kind of missed the boat when it came to picking up one of these things new. And they've been pretty hard to find used for a good deal. A lot of guys will just completely price gouge these things just because they're rare, I guess. But I was able to get this one at a pretty good deal. So what is this guitar? I believe this is an alder body. If not, I'll have the correction here in the little title box here. Maple neck and fingerboard, obviously. Vintage split shaft style tuners. A Fideli'Tron, Fender Fideli'Tron, kind of a Filtertron style neck pickup with a standard tele bridge pickup. Now, what's funny is the guy I got this from actually included a tele bridge pickup from a Made in Mexico tele, and just in case I don't like this one, but honestly, I really do like this guitar a lot. I really like this bridge pickup, so I don't think I'll be changing that anytime soon. But it's a great guitar. I actually really like the way the bridge pickup sounds in it, and this thing's about as rock and roll as it gets. You get one master volume and a three-way switch, no tone control. I got a buddy of mine who's not too sure about that, but honestly, I really like this. I think it sounds really good. So modifications came with a tortoiseshell pick guard. Doesn't have the original pick guard. I don't care. I kind of like it. I think it looks kind of cool, kind of unique. I might put the white one if I can find a white one. I'll put one on there. And the volume pot. Of course, these made in. I think this one's made in Indonesia, or crafted in Indonesia. Indonesia. Whatever. They have these really crappy mini pots, and this happens sometimes. They'll just get really dirty and scratchy. So that was the case with this one. I tried cleaning it, and it just couldn't quite get the scratch out of it. So I threw in a new volume pot. Now this is going to be something kind of interesting, and this is where this may not be a great demo for some of you people, but hopefully you guys will like this. And if you've got one of these guitars or a similar guitar, and you're having a similar problem that I had, maybe this would be a good solution for you. So the pot that came in it, where'd I put it? Oh, the pot that came in it is a 250K, just a cheap little mini pot. And I really liked the way the bridge pickup sounded. I kind of liked the middle position, but the neck position was just a little too muddy for me. And so I did a little experiment, and I'm very pleased to report that it works really well. So I actually replaced this with a 500K volume pot, and I went ahead and put in a treble bleed as well. And I'll talk about that treble bleed in another video. It's pretty cool. But I put the treble bleed in it, and so it's a 500K volume pot. But now the neck pickup sounds great. The middle position sounded pretty good, but the bridge pickup was just way too bright. So what I did was I did the same thing I did on my Lincoln Brewster Strat, where I took a 250K resistor, and on the switch I attached it to the bridge pickup ground, and then bridge pickup hot, and then ran the other end of ground. So essentially, what's happening is the bridge tele pickup is seeing a 250K volume pot, whereas the neck is seeing a 500K volume pot. So it's the best of both worlds, and this thing sounds incredible. So I'm running through my Line 6 Pod Go as usual, running through my dumb little cheater preset. So this is the Line 6 Litigator preset. Let me just make sure. Yeah, Line 6 Litigator, which is kind of their dumble-y kind of sound. A little bit of Adriatic delay for a little bit of slap, and a little bit of spring reverb. So let me just make sure I got all those things on and nothing else is on. Alright, so this is the tele bridge pickup. Nice and fat sounding, but still has lots of twang. So nothing harsh about that. I think it sounds really great. And I'm actually going to skip the middle position for now, and I'm going to go to the neck pickup. So this is the Fideli'Tron neck pickup, and again, running through a 500K volume pot. So if you ever had issues with these Fideli'Tron pickups sounding a little muddy, that's why. It's because it's more than likely using a 250K volume pot. These things sound great with 500K. Such a great sounding guitar. And then you go to the middle position, and so remember, with the middle position you got 250K on the bridge pickup, 500K on the neck pickup, and when you combine them, boy, it sounds good. Alright, so I'll show you how this treble bleed works. So this is the PMT V-Treb, variable treble bleed. And I've got it set a little different than I usually do. I still wanted a little bit, it rolled off a little too much top end whenever you roll back the volume, and which can be advantageous. A lot of guys actually like that on a guitar like this. It doesn't have a tone control, but for me it's a little too much. So you'll hear whenever I go from full volume to back a little bit, it gets a little bit darker, not quite as dark as without it, so I really like that, and I want to do a separate video on that V-Treb, but I just want to kind of show you how that works. So, that's the guitar. You got 3 sounds with it, essentially, but with those sounds you can cover pretty much anything you want. So I'm going to kick on a little bit of drive with the Heir Apparent. This is the Analog Man Prince of Tone model, and starting again with that bridge pickup, sounds like this. Middle position. And now the neck. Alright, I'm going to go back to the middle position and roll the volume pot back just a little bit so you can hear how well this thing cleans up. Alright, so pretty simple review for a very simple guitar. This is an amazing guitar. This is, not a very expensive instrument at all. It's a Squier, for crying out loud, but these new Squiers, it really, ever since the Classic Vibe series first came out, and the Vintage Modified, I've owned and played a bunch of them, and they've all been great. So, great guitars for the money, even though these are a little bit more expensive now, just because you can't really find them as easily. If you can pick up one of these guitars, specifically this one with a tele bridge pickup, I find that those 2 pickups, the Fideli'Tron, and this is the stock tele bridge pickup, they complement each other really well. If you have this guitar and you might think, man, my neck pickup's a little bit muddy, but my bridge pickup's just a little too bright or something like that, then you might check that mod out that I did. So I think it works really well. It's very simple to do. So I love this guitar. I've always wanted one, and I picked it up for a really good deal because it wasn't in immaculate shape when I got it. Obviously, had the tortoiseshell pickguard on it. Didn't have the original pickguard, which brings down the value a little bit. Has a couple little nicks here and there, which doesn't bother me. I usually play relic guitars, so but they come in handy when you're trying to buy something that's not supposed to be relic. So love this guitar, absolutely amazing. I highly recommend you pick one up if you can get it, especially with the quick little mods that I did. Literally took 5 minutes with a soldering iron, and you're able to get it set up, and it's just absolutely wonderful. So definitely check it out. Feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I've got several really cool videos coming out in kind of pretty quick succession, and then you'll probably never hear from me again, knowing my trend here on YouTube. But I got some pretty cool stuff coming out that hopefully you guys will enjoy. Thank you guys so much for your support, and I'll see you in the next one.